Is now a good time, Narina? I have some good news I want to tell you.
Oh, hi, Flavio. Good news? What is it?
My sister got engaged!
Oh, that is quite the good news. So Morella is finally about to get married too, huh? Is she going to marry that guy?
Yep, she's gonna marry Primo, the guy she's been going out with since high school. He finally paid back all of his student loan and saved up a bit of money, so he says it's about time for them to get married.
I see. Now that you mention it, those two have been going out for 10 years now, right? It must be quite the milestone for the two of them. To think that they're finally going to get married.
Yeah. I mean, Primo is an orphan and was raised in a facility, and he doesn't even have any relatives he can rely on. This must mean so much to him because now he's finally going to officially have family of his own. He said that he didn't want to be a burden financially on Morella, which is why he didn't propose to her until now when he finally became able to fully support the two of them.
He's kind and hardworking, so I'm sure he'll make a great husband.
Yep, I hope that's the case for Morella's sake as well. That's not all I wanted to tell you, though. Apparently, he's going to be visiting my parents' house again to ask for their permission for the marriage. He says he wants you to be there as well since you're my fiancé.
Oh, I'm flattered.
Could you keep your schedule open for Sunday afternoon? We can go together to our house once we're finished with the meeting for our wedding ceremony.
Yep. I'll be more than happy to come.
I mean, my family and Primo have already met multiple times, so he's really only going to pay a visit because it's custom, though. There's no way my parents are going to disagree to this marriage.
It's fine if he's just going to visit because it's a custom. It's probably his way of starting a new chapter in his life.
Yep, I get what you mean. I'll tell you about the details later on.
Yep, got it.
Hi, Narina. Thanks for coming to our house today.
Yep, I had a wonderful time. Looks like the meeting with your parents went peacefully from start to finish, just like you said, huh?
Oh, yeah. My parents have always liked Primo, and I wouldn't have expected the meeting with them to go anything but peacefully. Still, though, well...
Is there something on your mind?
I mean, the wedding ceremony.
Huh? The wedding ceremony? Oh, he said that he wanted to have a small-scale wedding ceremony with just his friends and family, right?
Yes, that's exactly what's bothering me. As Morella's brother, I wanted to have a proper wedding at a wedding venue with a considerable number of people invited. I don't want her wedding and our wedding to be compared by other people in the future, you know?
I mean, what they want is a small-scale wedding, right? It's not for us to decide what kind of wedding they're going to have, I think. Besides, it's not like a small-scale wedding is necessarily inferior to a large-scale wedding. What matters the most is what the two of them want.
Huh? Don't you think you're being a bit too cold? This is my sister's wedding you're talking about, you know?
Really? I mean, I want them to have the best wedding possible as well, but it's not really me to decide what exactly the best wedding for them is.
Don't you think that you want to help my sister out or something? You say that that's the kind of wedding they want to have, but in reality, I'm sure Primo just doesn't have the money to have a large-scale wedding.
Sure, Primo was an orphan raised in a facility, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's still poor, you know? I mean, it's been several years since he graduated from college and found a job. Besides, I heard that they're going to start making detailed plans for the wedding starting from today. I mean, I think the two of them already have some sort of image for their wedding, and I heard he told you this, but I don't really think it's for us to decide how their wedding is going to go. The best thing to do would be just to stand by and help them or give them advice when they ask us for it.
Yeah, but as Morella's brother, I wanted to have the best wedding ceremony possible.
Yeah, I get that, but it's not for us to decide what kind of wedding they should have. We're not quite seeing eye to eye right now, but why don't we just stand by and let them do their own thing for now? I don't think getting too involved in their wedding is a good idea. You really need to stop acting like only you know what's best for your sister. She can decide things on her own, you know.
What? But I'm sure this is what Morella herself wants as well. She's probably going to say something about how she wants to plan her own wedding and how they want it to be a small-scale one. But in reality, she's probably going to only say that to hide the fact that Primo just doesn't have the money to throw a proper wedding.
Like I said, I don't think it's a good idea to get that involved. Both Morella and Primo are responsible adults, so I'm sure everything will be fine.
All right, I'll think a bit more about this.
Narita? I think I'm going to have a problem with this. I'm grateful that you want us to have the best wedding possible, but this is just going too far. What? What's the matter, Mirella? I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm talking about the wedding venue. My brother told me that you two were going to hand over the wedding venue you made a reservation for 2 months ago, and even the wedding dress you guys were going to rent to me and Primo. What? Not only that, but he said that he was going to pay for all the other expenses as well. He said that you can have an even more luxurious wedding than the two of you were originally planning, and that he'd give me an extra 20,000 euros. Huh? 20,000 euros? Me and Primo already have plans for our wedding, so I'm afraid we won't be able to accept this. It's not that we're planning a small-scale wedding because we don't have the money to throw a larger one, but it's partly because Primo doesn't have any family of his own. Don't you think that he'd get a bit lonely if a bunch of my relatives came to my wedding when he has no one like that himself? Wait. Hold on, Morella. You say that you guys only have our best interests in mind, but this is just going too far. We want to plan our own wedding ourselves. Please, try not to get too involved. I wasn't told anything about this. What do you mean we're going to give you our wedding venue and an extra 20,000 euros on top of that? You said your brother Flavio told you this, right? Yes. He not only says that you agreed to it, but he even said that you were the one who proposed it in the first place. But I never agreed to doing anything like that. Heck, he never even told me about it. I was actually trying to stop Flavio because it sounded like he was going to try and get involved in yours and Primo's wedding. Really? I think of you like my own sister, Morella, but I wouldn't go so far as to give you my own wedding ceremony. I see. I mean, that's only going to cause you guys trouble, right? To tell you the truth, it will. I see. So this was all my brother's doing. I guess if you think about this a bit more carefully, you're not the kind of person that would do something like that, huh? Sorry, I just panicked when Flavio told me this and assumed that this was your idea. Sorry for getting all mad at you. I was so surprised when my brother suddenly came to me and told me about how he was going to give the wedding ceremony that was supposed to be yours to us. I tried to refuse, but he kept insisting. He even said something about how I didn't have to hide the fact that I actually wanted to have a proper wedding because he's my brother or something. I see. Flavio was always the kind of person that wouldn't take no for an answer. Yep. He often comes up with these plans on his own that he thinks are a good idea and sets it into motion without telling anyone else. But more often than not, it only just causes the people around him trouble. It looks like this is one of those again. Yeah, and at times like these, I tried to stop him from doing anything before he can even start. But it seems that this time he messed up real big since it was your wedding, a major event in your life that was on the line. Sorry, you must have been really surprised when he told you all of this, right? No, don't apologize. You did nothing wrong, Narina. I'm the one who should apologize to you for my brother's actions. Anyways, I think I'm going to have to talk to Flavio about this. Yes, thank you. I'm sorry we had to make you go through this trouble. Narita? Did you already confront my brother about giving us your wedding? No, I haven't yet, actually. Sorry, but could you wait a bit longer? I contacted Primo just now, and he's saying it's completely unbelievable. I'm sorry to say this, but I think this is even worse than we initially thought. Huh? You contacted Primo? What did he tell you? I know this is really sudden, but could me and Primo visit you in person right now? I'm pretty sure we're going to have to give you an apology, so I want to talk to you in person. That's fine with me, but... Thanks. I'm really sorry, but I'll tell you about it when we get there. We're going to be there in an hour. Got it.
Narina! There's something I want to tell you. We're gonna give our wedding...
You were going to give our wedding to Marilla and Primo, right?
Oh, you already heard about it from her. We're gonna give them our wedding, and not only that, but I want it to be even more luxurious than we originally planned. Which means I'll need you to give them an extra 20,000 euros.
The two of them don't want you to do this, so could you just stop? Wait, hold on. Why am I the one that's going to give them 20,000 euros? You're the one who came up with this. Not that I'm agreeing to give them the wedding ceremony that was supposed to be ours, though.
Huh? What do you mean they don't want me to do this? Why wouldn't they want me to do this? I mean, you and Marilla have similar body structure, so you should be able to use the wedding dress that was supposed to be yours as well.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm trying to say that Marilla and Primo don't want you to give them our wedding ceremony in the first place. Marilla and Primo came to me yesterday to ask me to do something about this. Apparently, you told them that I was the one who came up with the idea of giving them our wedding?
Well, I thought that it would mean more to them if they thought that you were the one who came up with this, and not me.
Huh? I think you made this mean a bit too much to them, and not in a good way.
Yeah, but think about this more carefully. Morella's future husband is someone who can only throw a small-scale wedding because he's too poor.
Huh? What made you think Primo was poor? Sure, he may have been poor growing up since he was an orphan, but it's already been several years since he graduated college and got a job. Use your head a bit more, Flavio.
Huh? But of course he's still poor. That's how the world works, Narina. I mean, he was so poor that he had to take on a student loan to go to college. Marilla was kind enough to ignore that fact and accepted Primo despite his poverty. Don't you think that it's only natural for me, then, to want to help them in any possible way? I'm doing this for my adorable little sister, so don't get all selfish, all right?
How exactly am I being selfish? You're the only one who was just assuming that Primo is poor and making a big deal out of it. Everyone else is rolling their eyes at you right now. Do you not even notice that? No one thinks that giving Marilla and Primo our wedding ceremony is a good idea except you.
Yeah, but I already set this plan into motion, so there's no point trying to argue anymore. I already told the wedding venue that we were going to cancel our wedding ceremony, but to still make us pay for it. I told them that my sister was going to throw our wedding ceremony there instead of us.
Huh? You what? Does that mean that you canceled our marriage without even telling me anything about it?
Come on, Narina. You make it sound like I did something bad. All I did was make sure that my sister would be able to have the kind of wedding ceremony she actually wanted. Me and you can just postpone our wedding ceremony and have it when we save up some money again. Primo, on the other hand, won't be able to do the same because he's so poor.
Are you seriously still saying that? Besides, did you forget that we already sent everyone wedding invitations?
Oh, that's right. Thanks for reminding me. Could you tell everyone we sent a wedding invitation to about the situation?
Huh? Why are you making me do everything when this was your idea? Do it yourself. And do you seriously think that you can get away with just telling everyone that our wedding ceremony is going to be canceled?
We're not canceling it. We're just going to postpone it. I mean, all you have to do is tell them that our wedding ceremony is going to be postponed. What's so difficult about that?
Is that so? So that's your stance. Fine. I don't care.
Nice. Well, I just texted you to tell you that we were going to give Marilla and Primo our wedding. So that's it, I guess.
All right, but in exchange for that, I'm going to be asking for an alimony.
Huh? An alimony? For what?
I don't want to marry you anymore. I just can't keep up with all your crazy antics.
Huh? What are you suddenly saying, Narina? Hey, what do you mean you're going to cancel our marriage? Is this why you said you're going to ask me for an alimony? Are you seriously that mad that we had to postpone our wedding ceremony?
There are a lot of things I want to tell you, but since now I know about your real intentions, I no longer want to marry you. That's all there is to it.
Huh? If that's the case, then you're the one who should be paying me an alimony. The person who proposed the marriage cancellation should be the one to pay.
You're cheating on me with a woman named Lucia, right?
Huh? I don't know who you're talking about.
I heard that Lucia works for Primo at his company.
Primo is Luisa's boss?
You idiot. Do you realize you just admitted to cheating on me? Well, not that it matters, I guess, since I already have proof. You see, apparently Primo saw you and Lucia holding hands while entering a love hotel several times while he was on his way home from work. He didn't want to jump to any conclusions, so he first asked one of the other female employees to do some investigation for him. But apparently the two of you met at a party and that you two were going out on the basis of eventually getting married? Not only that, but apparently she was pregnant with your child and she was planning on telling the company about it soon.
No, that's not true. Me and Luisa aren't going out. We're just friends, you see.
Just stop trying to deny it already. There's no point. Anyways, I heard that soon after Primo found out about this, you started talking about how you were going to give our wedding to him and Morella. In Primo's own words, the woman he was cheating on you with became pregnant, and so he needed to buy time to decide which one of you he was going to marry. He probably just wanted a reason to cancel your wedding ceremony and used me being poor as an excuse. Not only that, but he said that you asking me to pay 20,000 euros was another tactic to distract me from the truth and buy time. This is the hypothesis that Primo came up with, and I'm pretty sure what he's saying is spot on. So was he correct? Oh, and I forgot to tell you, but I also met with this Lucia as well.
You met her?
Yeah, I thought that I had seen her somewhere before, and apparently she was an underclassman at the college I went to. Apparently she asked you out, but you refused, since you were planning on asking me out instead. Ever since then, she's been seeing me as her enemy, it seems. Her parents got divorced and her last name changed, which is why I didn't notice it was her until I actually met her in person.
What? The two of you knew each other? Damn it, I should have realized.
I think I already told you enough for you to guess where this is going. Apparently, Luisa got pregnant on purpose while knowing I was your fiancé. She was planning on stealing you from me from the start.
Huh?
She says that she's sorry for stealing your boyfriend. It looks like you were being targeted from the beginning. What a scary woman this Luisa of yours is.
This has to be a joke, right?
No, it isn't. Well, that's all I had to say to you. I'm canceling the marriage, and I'm going to make you two pay me an alimony.
Wait, hold on.
Please contact me through my lawyer from now on.
Your lawyer?
Well then, goodbye. This and that happened, but eventually the marriage between me and Flavio was successfully canceled. Not only did I make him pay an alimony, but I also made him pay for all of the wedding ceremony's cancellation fees. Of course, I made Luisa pay me an alimony as well, just like I said I would. They were a bit uncooperative at the start, but I was successfully able to make them pay the alimonies up front. After that, it seems that Luisa and Flavio got married, but it was only then that Flavio's hell truly began. First of all, everyone in his company eventually found out about why his marriage was canceled and talked about it behind his back, giving him cold looks everywhere he went. But since he had to earn enough money for his wife and soon-to-be-born child, he couldn't resign. When he goes home, his new, now fully mentally unstable wife would check all his stuff and even his smartphone to make sure that he wasn't cheating on her. Not only that, but naturally all of his siblings and his parents cut ties with him. Apparently, the two of them started going bald out of stress. I haven't told anyone about this, but I think that was the final piece of karma that came to them for doing what they did.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Oh, Brenda, are you there? How long has it been since we last talked? Like 6 months or something, right? Hold on. Felicia? Is that you? Ugh. What is it? What do you want? You know that I don't even want to be talking to you, right? You've got a lot of nerve messaging me. But I'm not really surprised that you really haven't seemed to change at all. You always were awful. Hey, no! What kind of way is that to talk to me? I mean, I take the effort to message you like this, and that is what you have to say to me? I thought we were friends, right? I mean, we grew up together. I mean, we even shared the same man at one point, so I don't get why you have to be so mean to me. We didn't share anything. You just cheated with my man behind my back. How dare you try and paint it any other way? Oh, well, potato, potato. Oh, wait. I guess that doesn't really work over text. Just tell me what you want already. If you just messaged me to catch up, then I'll be putting my phone down now. I just think that you should know that I am more than happy to be single now and am greatly enjoying my life. I'm even doing great with my career as well. I should be up for a promotion soon, in fact. I don't really ever remember asking about your life, but good for you, I guess. Why do I even bother? Yeah, I'm leaving. Goodbye. Wait, you can't go yet. I still have something that I need to talk to you about. What is it? What do you want? I just wanted you to know that Eric and I are finally going to be getting married. Great. And why do you think I'd care about that at all? Well, you should care about it because the new house that we are going to be living in together costs upwards of $1 million and even has a pool. Hold on, don't tell me that you're going to buy that new big house on top of the hill in town. So you've had your eye on that place? I'm not surprised. It really is amazing. But unfortunately for you, Eric and I have already sealed the deal on it, so that mansion is all ours. Not only did I steal your husband, but I even stole your dream house. You may think that your life is nice, but I'm the one living in luxury now. I take it that you had to buy that house with a loan, though, right? What? Oh, no. Don't tell me that you didn't know. Did you really have no idea that Eric's parents are hugely wealthy venture capitalists? When you sued us for the affair, they were the ones who paid for us both in one go. I didn't even wince when I heard the amount since I knew that I wouldn't be paying it. And when I told Eric how badly I wanted that amazing house, he said that his dad would buy it for us, no problem. Oh, I see. Is that what happened? Well, good for you. Or rather, it would be. I'm sure you won't believe me when I say this, but it sounds to me like you and Eric have some talking to do, because I have no idea why he would say something like that to you. I seriously have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, well, that much is obvious. Anyway, I'm going now. See you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're just jealous. I know that Eric's parents are rich because he told me so, and that's enough. You just can't accept that my life is going to be better than yours. Good luck with your probably fake promotion. Too bad you had to lose a great guy like Eric to get it. It must suck to have to work to live. I'm glad that I'll never have to do something like that again. You major loser. Well, don't worry. I'll make sure to live a life that is more than full enough for the both of us. We'll move into our new place on the 1st of the next month. I'll be sure to brag about my life again to you then, so I look forward to it. Brenda, are you there? I was just curious as to what these screenshots that you sent me this morning were all about. Those are the messages that Felicia sent me yesterday, if you can believe it. So, she is going to be buying and moving into that nice new house that was built up on top of the hill? That's what she was saying anyways. Oh my. Well, that girl has really just never changed now, has she? She really hasn't, but it doesn't seem like she's going to get off my case about this at all. I was wondering if you could show those texts to Grandpa, though. I think he'll know what to do about this. I see. You're probably right. Okay, I'll do that then. Hey there, loser. I just thought of something else that I meant to talk to you about. Where are your parents living these days? I remember that up until we were in 3rd grade or something that we lived on the same floor of that same apartment building, but then you moved, didn't you? Now that I think about it, I can't seem to recall you ever telling me where you moved to after that. I remember when we met again in college, you said that you had moved out of your parents' place and were living on your own, right? So if that's the case, where did your parents end up? It's you again. I was hoping that I'd heard the last of you for at least a little while longer. Just answer the question and tell me where your parents are living. And just why should I do that, huh? What makes you think I want to tell you? Come on, I want to know. Just tell me where they're living, unless their house is such a hole that you're actually embarrassed to even tell me. Actually, I just don't want to tell you because I don't have to and I don't want to. But if you're really curious about where they're living, then you should ask Eric. He's always walking by it, so he would know. I see, I got it. I knew that I should have come to you to find out about this. Wait, what? What are you talking about? Why me? Well, I figured that it was only a matter of time until you brought up Eric again. Yeah, I guess I did bring him up, didn't I? Anyways, like I said, I'm not going to tell you where my parents are living. I knew it! They must be living in some tiny little shack somewhere. I knew there was something weird about you moving halfway through the school year. I bet your parents probably lost their jobs and you all had to move into some podunk little house in the country. That's probably what happened, isn't it? Not even close. Actually, my dad had to transfer to a new office in his work, and because of things going on in his company, the decision came down last minute and we all had to move right away. That is probably just what your dad told you so that you wouldn't worry about what was happening. But man, who would guess that even though we started so close to each other when we were kids, that my life would have gotten so much better than yours now that we're adults? Oh man. Okay. Well, you just made my day just by being so poor. And by the way, Eric and I are finally going to move into our new place this weekend. Oh, right. That mansion on the hill. About that place, there is something that you should know. What are you talking about? What should I know? Well, have you ever even set a foot inside that house? Of course I haven't. I wanted it to be a big surprise, so I left it all to Eric. I just want the amazingness of that new place to blow me away when I take my first steps inside. I told him that I didn't want to know a single detail about it. Well, you might end up regretting that. As if. That isn't going to happen. Anyway, talk to you later. Hey, loser, are you there? What is going on here? The new place that Eric and I were supposed to move into, our magnificent $1 million mansion with the pool, it's just ruins. Oh, sorry. What is all of this about now? I want answers. I want to know what happened. I mean, this place is a dump. Everything is falling apart. It looks more like a ghost house than it does a mansion. I take it you've arrived at the house on the hill, right? The one with the do not enter tape wrapped all around it? That one, right? I don't know what's going on. I don't get it. Why are there construction workers all over the place? They were asking me if I was the idiot who kept insisting on living there. They said they were surprised that I even turned up. Right, that makes sense. I take it my grandpa probably told them all about you. So, you know about all of this? But why didn't you tell me? You should have warned me. Before we get into that, you should know that that house on the hill has sat empty for about 20 years and was recently bought and slated for deconstruction. Wait, you mean these people are going to be tearing this place down? That's right. And the new owners of the land are going to be building a new apartment building there. What are you talking about? We're the ones who bought it. I am sure that that is what you thought this whole time. Yeah. And just what makes you an expert about this house, huh? What do you know? I know about it because my grandfather bought the land last month and is the rightful owner of the land. Wait, what do you mean? Are you serious? Of course I'm serious. Why would I be lying about this? He bought the land and it's his, and he's building an apartment building there. I don't believe this. This is just too much. Yeah, I thought it was really weird when you came to me saying that you were going to be living there. I remember talking to Eric about that land once, and he joked about being able to sell that house for $1 million if it was fixed up. I'm guessing that's where you got the price from, right? Hold on. I need to call Eric. We have some serious talking to do right now. I don't believe this. This is outrageous. Oh no, Felicia, what happened? Is everything okay? You sneaky little rat! You asked your grandfather to buy that land as soon as I told you that I wanted to live there, didn't you? Eric basically said as much. I thought he was just making typos when he was talking about his dad. His dad? Well, maybe it was a typo because he surely must have been talking about his ex-father-in-law. Quite the typo. Well, I thought it made sense. I thought what he was talking about is that his dad must be really rich. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Right. Well, as far as I know, Eric's dad just works a normal job and lives comfortably, but isn't extravagant by any means. What are you talking about? I guess you really screwed up here. You must have completely misunderstood what he was saying to think that his family was some kind of fabulously wealthy venture capitalists. I guess that's what must have happened. I don't believe it. Now that you mention it, I think that Eric thought that it was my family who was rich and that they were the ones handling the purchase. We both thought that the other was buying the house. The only thing that we were sure of was that we were moving into the house today. Well, then I suppose that you two can really only blame yourselves for what's happened. You both just really thought this house was going to fall right into your lap without even bothering to check on how it was or if the buying was going smoothly? I don't even know what to say. That really seems like that's what's happened here. Wow. Well, that is like a plot out of some silly webtoon or something. This isn't a joke. This is real life. Well, then I guess that solves that, though, doesn't it? I suppose we really don't have anything else to talk about then. Wait, you can't go. Where are the two of us supposed to live now? What do you mean? Why are you asking me that? Well, we already moved out of our place and canceled our contract with it. Then, because we each thought that each other's parents were going to buy the house, when we tried calling them, they each told us that we had been cut off ever since I broke up your marriage. We had completely forgotten about that. They hung up on us both right there. You mean you really forgot that you had been disinherited? They even told us that we couldn't go live with them when we told them that we didn't have anywhere else to go. I don't know what to say. Wow. Well, that is just... Yeah, you guys are dumb, but this is really not my business anymore. What do you mean? How can you say something like that? Do you think it's funny or something? You can't just kick someone while they're down like this. Besides, this whole thing is your fault. If you knew the truth, then you should have told me. You knew that this was going to happen, and yet you just sat back and watched it all. You're sick. You're so evil for wanting this to happen. I mean, first of all, I tried to warn you time and time again that you needed to check with Eric, but you two were so stupid that you didn't even bother asking each other if the other had actually even bought the house. You two got yourselves into this mess, so you two have to get yourselves out of it. Are you kidding me? You're just going to abandon us in a pickle like that? I'm not abandoning you because I was never on your side in the first place. Are you serious? How could you be so cruel? Call it what you want, but I am going now. I don't want anything to do with you or Eric ever again. Do you understand me? You two are just walking train wrecks, and I don't want you causing any chaos in my life. Wait, no, please don't leave, please. We really need your help. You can't go. Brenda, what happened? We used to be friends. You have to do something. You have to fix this. We're begging you not to leave us like this. It wasn't long after that when the moving company that Felicia and Eric hired started calling about who was going to pay the bill. Thinking that the other was going to handle the move, they had each blown through their savings and had nothing to give. In the end, they couldn't pay and also had to sleep outside that night. The divorce didn't follow long after that. After that, I heard that they went their separate ways. Except, for whatever reason, they both thought to try showing up at my house begging for a place to stay. They ended up arriving right around the same time and got into a huge fight on my lawn. They began unpacking their bags to throw their belongings at each other and made a huge mess. I told them both I was going to call the police and they ran off, never to be seen again.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Adriana, Why are you at Dad's funeral? Huh? What do you mean why I'm at his funeral? Weren't all of Dad's relatives invited to come?
Stop pretending like he was your dad, Adriana. You're pretending like you were his family during yesterday's wake, too. Do you know how annoyed I was at seeing you?
But I'm his daughter, so I wanted to say farewell to him as well.
Huh? It seems like you have some sort of misunderstanding, but it's extremely rude to sit with his family when you're just an adopted child.
What? I know I was only adopted, but he raised me like his own daughter ever since I was a young child. I don't even remember who my real parents were.
It doesn't matter whether he raised you or not when you're not actually related to him by blood. You're not related to me either. I call you my sister just for convenience, but I don't really think you're my sister, all right? You're always just fucking Adriana in my mind. But I'm the daughter of a CEO, so I can't say such things out loud, right? I feel as if I'm being punished whenever I have to call you my sister, but it can't be helped.
Philia, why were you always this mean to me?
Why shouldn't I be mean to you? Even though you weren't even Dad's real child, he always treated you better than me, his actual daughter, for some goddamn reason. But just because I call you my sister doesn't mean you can pretend to be his daughter at his funeral. Dad was always nice to you, but I'm not going to be the same. I'm his real daughter, not you. You're basically just a stranger to him, you know?
I'm sorry. I didn't know you felt like that all this time. I guess it must have been difficult seeing your father treat us differently. But still, what you're saying is just going too far. Just because I wasn't related to him by blood doesn't mean that we couldn't have had a meaningful relationship as father and daughter.
Shut it. Just leave the funeral right now. I don't want to hear any of your excuses. Ugh, I always hated how you were like this. Every time I get mad at you, you always pretend like you did nothing wrong and I'm the bad guy. For once, could you just admit you were wrong?
Adriana, are you alright?
Oh, hi, Irvis. It's fine. I just got a little bit wet. It's not like she hurt me or anything.
Someone saw Phila dumping a bucket of water on you and told me about it. Where are you right now?
I'm at the rental clothes store near the funeral.
Oh, so you rented morning clothes to go to the funeral?
Yep. Someone from the shop saw that Philly had dumped a bucket of water on me and brought me here.
I'm glad things seem to be alright. They're gonna give you new clothes, right?
Yeah, thankfully the owner's a kind person. I also thought of borrowing a wig and some glasses.
What? For what would you need a wig and glasses for?
To disguise myself, so I could sit with the rest of the relatives without being noticed.
What? You don't have to hide like that, Adriana. You did nothing wrong. He's your father.
But...
I'll sit next to you the whole time and prevent anyone from doing anything strange.
What? You'll do that for me?
You're my fiancé. I already got permission to sit with your relatives, so it's not gonna be a problem. Even Phila will have no choice but to behave if she's in front of a crowd of people. Don't worry about it. Return to the funeral and say goodbye to your father. Even though you weren't related to him by blood, you were probably closer to him than anyone else in that funeral. Even Phila.
Irvis, I wouldn't know what I would do without you. Thank you. I'll return as soon as I change.
What is your problem? Why is Irvis standing watch next to you the whole time?
Hello, Philia. I know you were mad at me, but dumping a bucket of water on my head like that was rude. I would have been glad to settle our differences, but you didn't want to talk to me.
This again. I hate how you always make me seem like the bad guy. You don't seem to understand yet. You're not supposed to be at this funeral. Also, Irvis is supposed to be my fiancé, not yours.
Huh? What does Irvis have to do with this? And what do you mean he's supposed to be your fiancé?
I mean, shouldn't the person who's going to inherit father's company marry the CEO's only daughter? Mom said that as well. And besides, he's too good for you anyways.
Are you trying to say that it's already decided that Irvis is going to be the next CEO? Where'd you get that information?
I mean, isn't it obvious? For some unknown reason, he's engaged to you, who isn't actually related to father, but it was supposed to be me, you know? This is a good opportunity, so I'll be taking Irvis from you, okay?
That has nothing to do with whether Irvis is going to be the next CEO. What you're saying doesn't make any sense, Philia.
You're so frustrating to talk to. You're going to leave this funeral and Irvis is going to be mine, period. Oh, I almost forgot. There's something Mom wants to tell you. Don't think that a stranger has a right to receive an inheritance, she said.
Sorry, but I'm not going to leave the funeral, and I'm not going to give you Irvis as well. And what's that about the inheritance? Is she telling me to let go of my portion of the inheritance when he was my father as well?
Fine, stay at the funeral if you want. Just know that you aren't welcomed here. Oh, and as for Irvis, I'll take care of him myself later. And yes, that's what Mom is saying. I agree with her, by the way. Why should a complete stranger inherit stuff from my dad, who was a CEO? He probably has a fortune waiting for me.
I don't think this is something we should be talking about the day of the funeral. It's impolite. Dad's will is going to be released by a lawyer after the memorial service takes place, right? The company can't just wait until it's released. So it seems that they're holding meetings to decide who the next CEO is going to be. So I think it's best not to say or do anything stupid for now.
I didn't quite get what you said, but I'm going to take Irvis from you, all right? Irvis himself will probably choose me, the CEO's real daughter, over a complete stranger like you, if he's going to go after the position of CEO.
Well, I guess we are just strangers to each other. I can understand why you don't like me, but it's not an excuse to treat me the way you're currently treating me.
Finally, you understand. It's fine with me, whatever you think, as long as you get out of my life. Looks like you messed up, Adriana. Irvis, the next CEO of Dad's company, is going to be mine now. Too bad, I guess.
But it was already decided before Dad passed away that Irvis wouldn't be the next CEO.
Huh? What are you talking about? What do you mean he's not going to be the next CEO? Hi, Irvis. I'm your new fiancé from now on, so I hope we can get along.
Huh? What are you talking about, Filler? My fiancé isn't you, but Adriana, your sister?
Oh, that's been canceled.
Huh? Canceled? What do you mean?
Dad messed up a bit, so you for some reason got engaged to Adriana. But in reality, you're supposed to marry me, not her. Which is why I'm gonna fix things now that Dad is gone.
My marriage with Adriana has nothing to do with the company's interest, though.
But just a little bit longer and I'll get my hands on Dad's inheritance. If you don't marry me, then the position of CEO is gonna be harder to obtain, you know?
I don't quite follow.
What?
It doesn't matter what you say. My fiancé is Adriana. I have no intention of getting married to any other woman. Goodbye.
What's the meaning of this? Why are you the next CEO? This has got to be some sort of mistake. What dirty trick did you use to make this happen?
Philia, it looks like you're misunderstanding.
What? How am I misunderstanding?
I'll try to explain to you what happened, all right?
Fine, explain it then.
Well, we first need to talk about why your father adopted me.
It's because Mom and Dad couldn't quite bear a child, right? But I was miraculously born after they adopted you.
It's true that they couldn't bear a child before they adopted me, but everything else is wrong.
Huh?
They didn't tell me how much you knew, but it seems that I'm Dad's biological nephew.
What? His nephew?
Yes, I'm his sister's daughter. His sister and her husband, meaning my real parents, suddenly passed away after getting into an accident. So your father took custody of me and adopted me as his daughter. That's what I heard.
Oh, is that so? So does that mean we're cousins?
Yes. About the next CEO of the company then. Dad's company evaluates people entirely on their skill. It's just a coincidence that the next CEO, me, also happened to be related to the previous CEO. I was one of the employees who were chosen as candidates for the next CEO, and luckily they noticed my hard work and chose me.
So what about Irvis?
I've been going out with him since I was in the second year of high school. I'm only marrying him because I want to. It has nothing to do with the company.
No way, but I heard that he was competent at his job. He was at least chosen as one of the candidates for the next CEO, right?
I didn't know you had that wrong as well. Irvis isn't even an employee at our company. Where did you even get that information?
Seriously? But I always thought that Dad had brought the two of you together since he was planning to make Irvis the next CEO.
What? You read way too many short stories, Philia. Well, do you understand the situation now? There's a lot of things I need to learn if I'm going to be the next CEO, so I'm quite busy. Bye.
This can't be true. This is completely different to what I thought was happening. Why did I get everything so wrong? Why? Why is Dad's will like this? You inherit all of Dad's property and me and Mom just get a few gifts.
It's just as the will says. Apparently you're Dad's child legally, but your father was actually a different man, and you were only born because Mom cheated on Dad. I was surprised when I saw this on the will, too. It looks like Dad even has proof that you aren't his real daughter, so there can't be a mistake.
What?
I'm sure Dad was conflicted by this fact all this time. He probably could have divorced Mom whenever he wanted to with the proof that she cheated on him. He could have even threw you away with her since you weren't his actual child.
Huh? So after all this time, you were the one who's related to Dad and not me? Why didn't he tell me about this sooner?
Dad wasn't the type of person to discriminate between us just because of the conditions surrounding our birth. He probably didn't tell us to keep the family safe. Maybe he knew that he and Mother would have gotten divorced. This proves that he did in fact care for you as well, Philia. Because if he hadn't, he would have just left the family fall apart and leave you and your mother to your own devices. You were just too blinded by jealousy to see that he cared for you as much as he did as me. I think what's written on his will is his final decision after years of inner torment. So I'm gonna do as Dad's will says. Goodbye for now, Philia. I hope that one day we can come to terms with each other and be the siblings that we always were.
But if he cared for me as much as he cared for you, then why did he give you more inheritance? I want that money as well. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I was supposed to get rich after Dad died. Irvis, marry me instead of Adriana.
Huh? Phila? What in the world are you talking about? Why should I marry you?
You see, I was such an unlucky child all this time.
Oh, you mean how you ruined your father's actual child? I guess it's a bit ironic how you kicked Adriana out of her father's funeral because she wasn't actually related to him, when in reality, you were the one who wasn't related to your father, and she was.
Yes, I never wanted this to happen, and I can't even receive an inheritance because of Adriana.
What does Adriana have to do with this? Your father simply gave Adriana more money than you and your mother, simply because he thought Adriana would make better use of it, I think. I doubt he was petty enough to give Adriana more money just because he liked her more. It simply isn't good parenting. You and your mother are housewives without a job, right? But Adriana has a promising career. In fact, she's now the CEO of her father's company, and so that's probably why he gave her the money.
But if Adriana never existed, then at least I would have been Dad's only legal child, and me and Mom would have been able to receive an inheritance. Isn't that so?
Philia, do you realize that you're being extremely rude to Adriana?
What? Who cares if I was being a bit rude? I was only telling her the truth. She was trying to lay claim to Dad's inheritance even though she was just a stranger to him. That's why I told her to get out of my sight.
It's true that the business of inheritances can be delayed and people need to handle them logically. But after your father died, while everyone else was quietly mourning your dad with whatever thoughts they might have had for him, the sight of you and your mother looking so excited for the inheritance was disturbing, simply put. I'm not surprised your dad chose to give his inheritance mainly to Adriana. With that personality of yours, I'm actually surprised he didn't divorce your mother and let go of you sooner. It just goes to show how kind of a man he was.
It's not like that. Dad always treated Adriana better than me, and now I know why. It's because I wasn't actually his real child, and Adriana was his nephew all along. And I never intended for it to seem like I wasn't sad about my dad's death and only cared about the inheritance, Irvis. I was sad about Dad's death just like everyone else. You just didn't notice it. And what do you mean, that personality of yours? I'm a much better person than Adriana. She just pretends to be the saint when in reality, she just does it to make people like her. And me and Mom are the only person who realize it.
I knew that's what she would say. It's not like your dad ever told me anything, but I don't think that he treated Adriana better than you simply because you were the child of another man. And Adriana was his nephew. Adriana's father was the kind of person that judged someone entirely on who they are as a person. You can see it in how he runs his company, where employees are evaluated entirely on their scale, right? This means that your father was more fond of Adriana than you simply because he liked her better as a person. Although, I will admit that a father treating their children with different levels of love is a bit unfair, and I'll forgive you a little bit for that. But saying that you never intended for it to seem like you weren't sad about your dad's death and that you only cared about the inheritance is actually just as bad as saying that you did intend for it to look like that. Because now you're just someone that has no regard for manners and what other people think.
Irvis, don't say things like that. It wasn't my fault that I wasn't actually my father's child and that Adriana was his niece. I didn't ask for any of this to happen. Please, I have no one else to depend on. Why don't you want to marry me?
I feel bad for your situation, but sorry. I'm not going to marry you no matter how much I pity you. Because I love Adriana and no other woman. Goodbye, Philia. I hope that you someday find happiness of your own.
Dad was the owner of the house Philly and her mother lived in, but it was now my house after the inheritance. It seems the two were too proud to live in a house owned by me, so they used the little money they received as a gift from Dad to find an apartment. Actually, the gift money they received was only little compared to the rest of the inheritance, but it was still quite a large sum of money. But for some reason, the two of them decided that these were the funds they needed to start gambling, even though they needed that money to get by until they could start providing for themselves. Even though they intended to earn some easy money by winning, they eventually lost all of it. Now the two of them support themselves by working at a job that comes with housing, but since the two of them have never worked a day in their lives, they frequently make mistakes and get scolded by the other employees. The two now live in poverty and constantly have fights, it seems. Me and Irvis, on the other hand, got married a few months after the memorial service took place, which is also when I started to be more comfortable with my new position as the CEO. We decided to find a new house as a way of putting the past behind and starting anew, and I decided to sell the house I inherited from Dad. I kind of feel bad for Philia. After all, she thought that she was her dad's real child her whole life. But to be honest, I don't think Dad was the kind of person to judge a person based on something like that. So I also feel that what happened to her was ultimately her own doing.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.